Are you dreaming of starting your own media or audiovisual venture? Before you take that leap, make sure to check out this video. Hey there, I am Fred, also known as DBoss-Fred, a filmmaker based in Lagos, Nigeria. You might be curious about why I'm sharing my journey now. Given the current reality we are facing in Nigeria, it's crucial to discuss this topic. Leaving your steady 9-to-5 job to chase your passion can be incredibly risky, especially without a solid plan. I'll be sharing some key points later in the video, but first, let's rewind to 6 years ago when I made the bold decision to dive into full-time filmmaking. Back then, I was working as a full-time producer at one of the leading media firms in the country, a position many would envy. Yet, every day I felt the growing urge to break free. This urge started 2 years earlier, around 2016, but I kept pushing it aside. With a family to support, making such drastic decisions without proper planning felt reckless. By 2018, I was mentally drained. I realized my creativity was being confined to rigid workflow, and I longed to explore all the facets of filmmaking. Notice I haven't mentioned money much. That's because if you want to thrive as an entrepreneur, your commitment to succeed must be unwavering. If you are only in it for the cash, you will likely burn out quickly. So on February 28, 2018, I took the plug, submitted my resignation letter, and I stepped into the unknown. Trust me, I was terrified. Here are some lessons I learned along the way and things I wish I have done differently. First and foremost, remember that change is the only constant. It can be daunting, but let's focus on the positive side of change. Start saving. Start saving. Aim to set aside enough to cover your expenses for at least 1 year. If possible, add another 6 months to that 1 year. This financial cushion will give you the peace of mind as you transition. Trust me, it will. Avoid taking loans. If you are considering borrowing money to kickstart your business, think again. I repeat, think again. High interest rates can quickly become a burden. Trust me, if your venture doesn't take off as planned, you will regret leaving your stable job. The third on the list, network and build connections. This was one of my greatest assets. While I was still employed, I focused on nurturing strong relationships with my colleagues. I made sure never to burn any bridge. Any bridge, knowing these connections could play a crucial role in my future. In fact, my first big job as a filmmaker came directly from one of those relationships, but more on that later. Number 4 on my list, pay off high interest debt. This is crucial. My advice to you is to avoid any form of debt that can weigh you down financially. This includes things like buying on credit or financing through cooperative. It can be a slippery slope, and trust me, you don't want to find yourself in a tight spot. These 2 or 4 points rather are paramount, but there are other factors to consider that can be influenced by external circumstances. However, there are more things you can't control. Be prepared for uncertainty. Life is unpredictable and anything can happen, so get ready. The first 3 to 6 months after leaving my job was incredibly tough, like really tough. I was desperate, in need of cash flow to support myself and my family. To make ends meet, I took on side hustle to cover. I have to look for one side hustle to cover my daily expenses. The transition was challenging, bills piled up, and rent was due. I found myself in a dark place, battling depression, serious depression. It was a struggle I kept hidden, fearing judgment from others who might ask, who sent you? To cope, I actually signed up for an entrepreneurship training program, a scholarship initiative organized by Facebook for digital entrepreneurs. This opportunity led me to meet incredible people. Before my 9 to 5, I had picked up some small gigs here and there. I realized I needed to dust off my old reels to showcase my skills to potential clients. Well, it was very important. Then I owe a huge thank you to my sister-in-law, one of my brother's wives. Wife, now only one wife, who was my very first client. Additionally, members of my church supported me, providing opportunities to create content for their businesses. So this initial platform were invaluable for my growth as a filmmaker. It's often said that the people who give you the chance to prove yourself are the ones who go unappreciated. So never take those relationships for granted. My church members, thank you. My sister-in-law, thank you for the opportunity. If not for you guys, I won't be here now. As I mentioned earlier, networking is an essential tool for any entrepreneur. It's something you can't buy, rather it's built through genuine relationships. However, be smart about who you can connect with. Some relationships can be toxic and detrimental to your business. Always strive to surround yourself with those who uplift and support your journey. Kachiko? So back to the story that I was telling you guys I will tell you about. So I was contacted by an old colleague of mine from my former workplace about an exciting Netflix documentary project. He invited me to meet the producer, and let me tell you the truth. As an entrepreneur, punctuality is crucial too. I forgot to mention that earlier. It's an habit that reflects your seriousness and professionalism. Sorry, I'm deviating, but let me come back to the story. Fast forward to the meeting again. I got the opportunity to work as an editor and a colorist for the project. At this point, I must emphasize that money was not my primary motivation. This generation, Gen Z, baddies, money. My main goal was to prove to myself that I could handle this level of work. I wanted to show my capability before worrying about the financial aspect. This is a critical point. When you embark on any project that feels bigger than what you are used to, focus on proving yourself first before signing any contracts. Many people, you just rush into agreements without even assessing whether they can genuinely deliver or do the job, potentially missing out on valuable experience that can enhance their career. You don't know, and they claim say you know. You lose out. But that's a discussion for another day. The successful completion of the documentary opened doors for me as a filmmaker, leading to a large project where I directed, produced, and shot countless commercial videos for businesses and brands. One of the most important lessons I learned throughout my journey is the importance of continuous learning and growth. In filmmaking, there is no end to what you can learn. I started as a documentary editor and have since evolved into a full-fledged filmmaker. In fact, I have produced 2 movies, one of which is dropping this November. It's called Military Christmas, and the other is a very high-budget movie which I'll later talk about when it's approaching the release date. As a filmmaker, it's essential to adapt to a new trend and styles to stay relevant in the industry. Never forget to invest in yourself and your business. Buy equipment, don't chop all the money. Don't ever think you have reached your peak. The level you believe you have achieved is merely the starting point to someone else. So my brother and sister, my brothers and sisters, keep learning, keep growing, don't stop creating. If you've enjoyed this video, and I believe the content can help someone else grow, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, keep the dream alive. Thank you for watching.